Hello traders, welcome to part 2 of a momentum ignition analysis through Bookmap. We made a part 1 where we looked at various momentum ignition plays, but the focus of today's video is going to be more on recognizing these plays and then executing upon these plays. So really the focus of today's video is more how do we make money off of this. Before we start, I have 2 patterns for you guys, screenshots that I took or a Discord trader had taken, and I'm going to present them to you guys. And let me know what you see in these pictures, because there's a lot going on in here, and once I point it out, I think you guys are going to be pretty amazed of really what is happening on BitMEX. But first of all, look at this picture and tell me, do you think that any market manipulation is in play? And where do you see any potential market manipulation here? You guys 5 seconds. Okay. We have many resting bids that look like genuine bids. We have one here, one here, one here, one here. They do not look like they're spoofing in any way. If they were spoofing, they would either A, be constantly moving, constantly being canceled, or B, whenever price gets close to a spoof, it either gets moved a lot farther away from price or just gets canceled. I'm seeing neither of that really happen. These guys got filled, they got filled, this got filled. So none of this is spoofing. But look at the asks, look at the offers here. What are these limit sells doing? Spoof? Spoof, spoof, as price goes down, another spoof placed, another spoof placed, spoof, spoof, spoof. Order canceled, order placed closer, order canceled, order placed closer. And it's not just one order. You can see that there's a block of orders. These are millions of dollars being placed to compress price lower and to incentivize market selling. Now here's the coolest thing. Yeah, there was a continuous string of spoofing that pushed price down. What happened? The very last time that you see one of those spoof offers, something pretty remarkable happened. The very second that this offer, got canceled and there was really no more spoofing, market went right back up. Because someone was manipulating, or a group of HFTs, or some HFT was pretty clearly to me manipulating price to push it lower on futures. And then after they had done that, they pulled their spoof because they'd already gotten the result that they wanted. Either they already filled their buy order, or they just don't want the price to go any lower. Once they did that, they just stop spoofing. And price just goes right back upward and reclaims some lost territory. One final thing I need to say about this, and then we're going to move on to the second picture. Look at all these empty space. Typically, in one of my videos, I said price will fill empty space. When you see a lot of liquidity here and not much here, it's reasonable to think that price goes up. Completely fair. But there's a caveat to that. Spoofing. When you see this empty space like this with really thin liquidity or no liquidity, but you see spoofing, then price will tend to go against the spoof, meaning the spoofers tend to win out in this game. But watch what happens when the spoofing stops occurring, when the momentum ignition is done. It fills the empty space immediately. Within, I think this was like 30 seconds, it fills it. So when you're on the lookout for this thin liquidity, it's so important to look for these spoofing blocks, where you see millions of dollars worth of contracts being sold or limit bought, and then gauge that back to the space you see, as you can see here. Here, price was able to rise because there's no more spoofing. What do you see here? Is there market manipulation involved? And tell me the very point where you could have probably noticed that this was going to go up. Answer those 2 questions. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Good luck with that. Refer back to my first video on momentum ignition if this doesn't make sense. That's probably going to help you a lot more. Okay, I see genuine offers. These look like very genuine limit sells. They were all filled. Nothing malignant, malevolent, evil. I don't know. Manipulative. All the M words. But guys, what is this? Like, really? On BitMEX? Come on. Like, this is just clear order depth, just kind of pushing price higher, incentivizing people to market buy, as you can see here. And then as price was carrying higher, look at this. Spoof bid, spoof bid, spoof bid, spoof bid here, spoof bid here, spoof bid here, spoof bid here. Do you guys see how I'm recognizing these genuine versus non-genuine order flow? This is genuine. This is completely non-genuine, as you can see here. When they're quickly placed, quickly canceled, and it's blocks like this, like that, and then it's just canceled, and then this is placed, and then it's just canceled, and then it's placed here, it's just canceled, and then placed here. Come on, like, I think that I think that nothing's 100%, but I'm pretty confident that this is some type of manipulative practice by an HFT or by an algorithm that a trader is just clicking a few buttons to make sure that the algorithm spoofs the market in the direction that he wants it to, or she wants it to. But we see, spoofing near price, and then we see spoofing a little bit farther away from price. Both have a good effect to push price higher. Now, can we actually enter in this trade? I would say if you're very good at this and very aggressive, guys, you could have entered down here. How? Three things. One, I see a string of market buying with literally no market selling. Two, I see a genuine resting offer and really not much happening besides just one genuine limit sell order, which is already built into price because you can see it's been there for a while. Three, I'm seeing spoofing near price, which has a profound effect on pushing price higher. The likelihood of this just catapulting higher is quite high. So this could have been a spot where you could have thought about buying, right around here when you see this kind of setup. So remember that. Let's go to Bookmap now. A few things that I want to show that I did not show before. Some really cool features of Bookmap. Bookmap allows you to actually see, let me show you guys this. Bookmap actually allows you to see how much of a limit order is from just one trader or one limit order. So it's this white line. It's kind of hard for you guys to see, but do you see between the 6.5 and the 1? See that white line there? I can zoom in more, probably. I can even do something like this to really show you guys that white line. Yeah, there's a white line right there, this white line. So the portion to the left to the white line shows how much one single limit order is. So what you can do with this is we can actually look in the order book and see where is it that it's actually a collection of limit orders or potentially a collection of many traders who are placing orders, which could be more genuine, or where do we just see a single large limit order placed? And you can do that with Bookmap. I can see a 10,895. It's canceled now, but did you guys see that? Rewind the video 20 seconds at 10,895. There was one large limit sell order that was placed there and then canceled, and that white line showed us that that order was probably about $500,000-$600,000, and it was then canceled. There's one at 894 right here too, 10,894. So it's that white line that shows you from here to here how much one limit order's liquidity has within that entire level. For example, at 10,887.5, the entire thing is just one person. That $400,000 order is just one order. Right? Because you can see left to right, there's a white line there, so that makes sense. All right, I'm going to zoom out a ton now. I have showed that new feature. Configure column, and one more I want to show. I'm probably not going to be using this one I'm about to show you guys, but it still can be pretty helpful. You can add more columns. So I could add something like a chart range quotes counter. What this would show me is how many times a certain bid or offer has been changed. That could identify spoofing. I could look at trades. So instead of volume profile, which just shows me the overall volume of every single price level, I could look at a trades counter on a chart range trades counter, and what this will show me is how many trades have been taken where. So I can see that, as you can see here. So I know that a lot of buy and sell trades have both been taken around the 880 to 885. You can see that right there. Remember, this is not volume, guys. This is just the quantity of trades, which can give us a good idea of how many traders are actually, trading this. We have a lot going on here. A lot of trading at this level right there, as you can see. I'm going to delete that column. I've showed you guys how to use that, and you can play around with this as you want. Inverse display, split display, or you can use something like that, however you want. Or just, if you want to be quantitative only, numbers only, be my guest. Okay, so those are two features that I hadn't shown that I really wanted to. You can also change your heat map. So I can go here, I can aggregate I don't think you'd want to aggregate it, but I can go here, I can do something like this. And to get there, all I had to do was just right click, heat map settings, and then I went there. So I could do upper cutoff, I could change that to something like, oh god, is it going to crash on me if I do that? Ah! Okay, it did not like that. Maybe I shouldn't have changed that. Okay, well, too late now. And then, we got here display on toolbar, and you guys know it. You guys can play around with the settings. I don't have to play around the whole time. So I think that is just a filter of what you want to isolate as okay, I need to change that guy back, because that guy was just, okay, he needs to go back to here or something. So it's only showing me the very biggest orders in this color here. If I put this at like 80, I mean, everything would look like it's a massive order. Yeah. So, you know, I want this to only show me like the very few percent, the very few limit orders that are very, very large, as you can see here. Okay, so what do we see? Well, I want you guys to first do this. This is not something I planned. This is something that I just want to show you guys. And I currently see a momentum ignition play that had occurred in the past. Now, what I want you guys to do is, from your knowledge of part 1 and from the two pictures that I showed in this video, part 2, where did that momentum ignition play occur? There could be multiple answers for this, but I think that for me, if I was a professor grading this answer, I think that there's one area that I would give an A+ to you if you look at it. Oh yeah. If you can actually track my eyes to the computer, maybe you can cheat that way, but you'll see. I'll give you guys 5 seconds to try to locate where we got potential market manipulation, something that you could have actually probably bought. I mean, I just gave it away and then made money off it. So you know it's momentum ignition to the upside. All right, guys, it's here. We have one large genuine order. We have millions of dollars here. Doesn't change, doesn't get canceled. Liquidity doesn't really fluctuate that much by just more than a few $100,000, not that much. Look at this. Bid placed, bid canceled, bid placed, canceled, bid placed, canceled, bid placed for a little bit, canceled, bid placed, canceled, bid placed, bid altered down here, bid altered here, limit buy was put here, limit buy was there, then limit buy was here, limit buy was here, a whole string of limit buys right there, right in that area right there as well. You can see a whole string of bids were placed here to try to push price higher, and then eventually, all of this bidding, and then all the bids placed here eventually push price higher. What do we see here? 3 things that I had mentioned before. 1 is string of market buying. I can see a string of market buying here. 2, I see a large genuine limit order that price is budging up against like this or like this. And 3, a series of spoofing limit orders that look to generate momentum against that limit order. That happens here. We go higher. How do you make money off this? I would say, look, guys, if you see that there's a large amount of spoofing here, a genuine order here, a lot of market buying, and you're reasonably confident that price is going to go higher, then you could think about trying to set a bid or a limit order to try to get filled and try to make some money on this move. If you had done that, maybe you enter at 881.5 and we go up to about 925, so that's like a 0.3%, 0.4% profit. So on $100,000, that would be like $300 or $400 in profit within not a long period of time. I think 10-20 minutes. So that would have been pretty nice. Now, what I always like to do, let's go look at the current price action. Let's see if we can identify anything. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit more, and then I want to ask my super fun question that hopefully this video is going to make you better at not just recognizing when momentum ignition or spoofing is occurring, because I can see momentum ignition, I can see when there are many limit orders being placed to try to motivate price to go to a certain level, but making money on this, of course, is going to be the most important part, and also probably the hardest, too, of the entire thing. But what do we see here? I'm not really seeing anything particular. Maybe I can actually change my settings for the 52nd time. I want to see a little bit more. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm seeing a genuine limit order at 10,900, and that is very common, guys. When you see a round price level, a lot of the time, you're going to see many traders piling on many limit orders at that level. And the largest limit order at 10,900, to find that, we're going to look for that white line. Remember, 10,900, largest limit order. Come on, dude. Come on, price. Give me that 10,900. I want to see the white line. Okay, you are not cooperating, price. Oh my god, the scale is killing me right now. Am I going to have to rescale it myself? Oh, here we... Yeah, you can see the majority of that order is just one person, right? You guys see that white line right there by white 1 to 2? I would say about three quarters of the limit order, it just got canceled. Did you see that? That is why you need to be on the lookout for that white line, because that's going to show you where one large limit order is, and a lot of the time that thing gets canceled. We just had a large cancellation at 10,900, making that level a lot weaker. Just saying, someone's weakening these areas here. It wouldn't be crazy if price began to go up. That would not be out of the question. It's actually pretty likely that price is about to go through because that guy just canceled about $1 million worth, and then he put it at a higher level. So now it's at 10,904. That same trader who had canceled $1 million now placed at 10,904 because I think he believes that demand is high. And look at that. Just as we had said and predicted, price is rising. Okay? But again, we did see what looked to be a genuine limit order here. And we know that when we see that genuine limit order, and if we see spoofing in that direction, the price may be likely to move against it. But we also see a genuine limit order down here. But price isn't really that close to it, as you can see there. Now, if I zoom out again, that's really what you have to be on the lookout for, guys. Not just market buying and market selling, but locating genuine resting orders and then locating spoofing against those orders, because that's where momentum ignition is going to come into play. Now, for positioning yourself, you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You can be very aggressive with this. If you believe to see that, the three things that I've mentioned do occur, well, then you can try to get limit order filled. But if instead you want to be a little bit more conservative, if you could see continued market manipulation in a certain direction, then it might not be a terrible idea to hop in a trade against that. But do remember, a lot of people who hear that are probably going to say, but market manipulation can change like that. Momentum ignition can change like that. It can. That's the risk of this strategy, is that it's a very good short-term scalping strategy that has a strong edge because you're basically following the order flow of the biggest players here. They're actually pushing price. And I mean, that's probably in the long run going to do you more good than bad, when compared to like technical indicators. This is probably going to be a much... I would rather put my money in a guy who looks at this than a guy who uses RSI EMA. I'm sorry. It's just what I'd rather give money to someone who is very good with order flow and very good at locating spoofing and momentum ignition. But these happen all over price, as you can see here. So you do have to be very discerning when you want to put your capital in. Something like this I think was a little bit more obvious. I don't like saying the word obvious, but I mean, spoofing here, spoofing all over here, large order there. Lots of people trying to spoof this. Yeah, I mean, I see a little bit of spoofing on the sell side, some sell spoofing here, some sell spoofing here. But look, guys, like the majority of this spoofing was very clearly the buyers who are just trying to get price to go above 10,900, hit people's stop losses, hit people's liquidations so that they can have the liquidity to sell. That is all that momentum ignition is. Trying to hit price levels where a lot of people are willing to buy or sell at bad prices, taking advantage of them at buying or selling at bad prices by taking the opposite side of the trade. All right, so it looks like what is going on in this short-term thing? I was going to end the video, but just okay, bad zoom. I don't like you, zoom. What is going on here? Okay, I need to zoom out more because like that guy was not cooperating. It's just strange limit orders. I was pretty confident before the price was going to go up, but then this became a little bit less genuine. I mean, we had the big cancellation, then the placement here, and what I have found in my trading is that typically the less genuine side, whether it's the buyers or the sellers, price tends to go in the opposite direction. If you see a lot of spoofing on the bid side and a lot of not much genuine action on the bid side, watch price go up. If you see a lot of spoofing on the offer side, a lot of potential momentum ignition to the downside, watch price go down. It's really these rapid cancellations and placements that I've found fuel price to go in certain directions. With that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. A quick recap of what we talked about. We looked at two pictures where we looked at identifying empty space and thin liquidity and balancing that with actually large spoofing orders that can kind of cancel out that thin liquidity and actually make it likely that price doesn't go through that blank space, that empty space. We also looked at how genuine orders tend to get filled very often on BitMEX because of the momentum ignition that hurdles them forward. We've also identified how in the early stage of a momentum ignition play, when the accumulation distribution is beginning to occur and a trader or an HFT or a series of HFTs are trying to pressure price in a certain direction, how you can try to get your order filled after identifying it and trying to snap on it and take advantage of it. And then finally, the final part of momentum ignition that I did not talk about a lot in part one that I do need to say now is the final stage, when price hits many stop losses and many liquidations and then the trader exits. A beautiful example of that was in that first picture where you can see the offer, the last spoof offer was canceled. Then price rises. That is a sign that, the momentum ignition is probably over. Another sign that the momentum ignition is over is when you get a high volatility move like that and you just don't really see many spoof bids near price, then that's a sign that the move could be over as well. Okay, with that, guys, a lot I can tell you guys this, I can show you guys this, but a lot of this is just going to come on your own time through practice and really looking at Bookmap and trying to identify this momentum ignition before you actually start to take trades. Because I can show you guys this and make this look a little bit simpler. Look historically, look now. We saw some non-genuine order flow, and we knew that price may go down. Originally, I did think the price was going to go up because I thought this was genuine, spoofing to the upside. But then this became completely non-genuine and price fell. This takes practice. There's no other way around it. Watching my videos will help, but that's not going to help enough for you to actually do this on your own. You can't just come to class. You got to come to class and do the homework. You got to come to class, do the homework, and study for the test. All three of those. You can't just do the homework and study for the test in class. I've tried. It doesn't work. Unless the class is super easy. But guess what? Is trading super easy? Okay, with that, guys, happy trading. Class is out of session. Enjoy Bookmap. Enjoy locating momentum ignition and making money off of it. Any more questions, feel free to reach out to me or tell me to talk about more specific points of momentum ignition like you guys did last time. Because I do like being more specific and also telling you guys certain ways you can profit instead of just being more generic and broad. Happy trading. I'll see y'all soon.